Hey y'all, so I'm back with another nail video. So today's video, I didn't really show you guys me prepping her nails because most of my videos I show myself prepping, so I do the same thing I do to any other client, nothing special. So I've already applied her tips, shaped them, paper drilled her, and cut all any excess cuticle skin off. So today we're going to be using two powders. At first I was going to use this Kiara Sky polka dots powder, and I am going to use Designed by Tony Lee's acrylic powder in the number 99, which is a very soft ballerina sparkly pink. And later on you're going to see that I did not go with the polka dot powder. I actually recommended something else to her because once I laid down the Tony Lee powder, it was so pretty and I just wasn't feeling the polka dot powder to go along with it. So I just added some primer to her nail bed. And as you guys know, I explain this all the time in my videos. I always hold the finger down when I'm applying acrylic because it helps the acrylic fall down naturally. I absolutely love Designed by Tony Lee's powders. The consistency is amazing and it's consistent with all the colors. As you can see, I can control it. It's not too runny. It didn't set and harden too fast. So hands down, some of the best powders I use, and I see why his powders are a little more pricey. She did request two specific things. She wanted her nails to be thick and she wanted her nails to curve. So here I zoomed in for you guys so you can see what I mean when I say I apply my second ball and I push it into the cuticle. So now right now what I'm doing is just wiping any excess acrylic off that got around her nail bed. And this powder is pretty sheer, so I applied like 2 layers of it just so it can be more opaque versus like a sheared down pink, and it's absolutely beautiful. So this is the part where I had cut my camera off to go get the other powder I wanted to use. So I basically just formed this V-style French at the tip of her nails with my brush like this, and I didn't use anything to cut it, and I just used my brush to form the shape that I want. And you're gonna see in a second what I'm going to put at the tip of her nails. So the middle finger, we're just going to use regular acrylic powder, the regular powder that we've been using, and do that fingernail solid as well like the pinky. So right now what I'm doing is I'm taking the Tony Lee powder number 99 and I am putting it sporadically in certain areas on her nail, and in the other areas where I did not apply the pink powder, I'm going to be using like these iridescent this shell paper, or what do you call this paper? I don't know the technical name for this paper I'm using, but it's really delicate. You can cut it up into pieces. They come in different colors. This one is more of like a pinkish iridescent color. So what I'm doing is I'm using some clear powder, and in the spaces where I didn't apply the pink powder, I'm applying the clear powder very thin, and basically I'm using it as an adhesive to hold down that iridescent paper. So this is my first time really working with this in this type of manner. When I bought this paper before, it came in sheets and you had to cut it up yourself. So I'll cut it up in like slim slices, slim pieces in like you know, put them on the nail and it'll be like straight, slim looking pieces. I've never bought it to whereas it's already cut up in like different sized small shapes. So I feel like next time I use this, I will use tweezers to place it down instead. That way it will be accurately placed versus using my brush to pick it up and trying to maneuver it around, because it is a little bit more harder when I was trying to use the brush. So now that I'm going back watching a video doing this voiceover, I'm thinking like maybe I should try some tweezers. So I'm going to do the same thing with on the ring finger where I created that V-shaped French, and I'm putting some clear powder down and I'm working on one side at a time. And I'm doing it in layers so that it can be super opaque and there's no open gaps. So you'll see me just place some clear, put a layer, put some flakes down, then place some more clear and put some more flakes down. And when it's all done and over with, I'm going to encapsulate every single nail with some clear powder. I work in sections because you don't want the clear powder to dry up too fast. So that's why I did one side first and laid some clear powder, put the flakes on, then did the other side. You don't want to lay the clear powder down and it gets hard and you have a thick nail and you have clear powder with nothing adhered to it. That defeats the whole purpose. So those little pieces you may see straggling or hanging off to the side, we're going to file those off later. So you're not even going to see those pieces, guys. Okay, you guys, so for this hand, I switched up the fingers and the design. So what I'm going to do is on the middle finger, I'm going to use the clear powder and I'm going to use the flaky paper over the whole nail. And I'm just going to keep applying layers of clear powder, layers of the paper until I get it to the consistency that I want it. And once I'm done, I'm going to encapsulate the whole nail with clear powder so that nothing moves anywhere, nothing budges anywhere, nothing falls off, and it looks even more prettier once it's covered and top coated with clear powder. So for the pinky nail, I'm basically going to ombre it, and I'm going to use the clear powder and apply it from the tip of the nail to the nail bed, going not all the way to the cuticle though. And I'm going to put the iridescent paper on top of the clear like we've been doing, same process guys. And then I'm going to use the tonally powder in number 99, and I'm going to use that powder where the cuticle and the nail bed area is, and I'm going to blend it into the iridescent flakes. Once I get it to the consistency that I want it and blend it very well, I'm going to encapsulate it with some clear powder. So once I get this nail encapsulated, all the other nails are going to be just the pink powder. And once we lay down the pink powder, we're going to encapsulate all of them with the clear powder. And again, the reason I encapsulate with clear powder, for one, it uses less product as far as the colored powder. Colored powders tend to cost more. And Tony Lee's powders in particular cost more than like a lot of other brands I've used, as far as like Glam and Glitz or Instant Brand. So I'm saving product. At the same time, I like the appearance of how it looks when you put clear powder on top of colored powder, and then when you put the top coat on, it just gives it this particular look. I can't explain it or give detail it, but when I first started doing nails and using acrylic powder, or colored acrylic powder, I did not encapsulate the nails with clear. I would just lay the powder down and drill, and it looked pretty. But I started working at a particular shop, and they was just telling me, to save more product, and even the lady who taught me this method, she was saying the appearance wise, and when I started doing it, I was like, dang, it does look different, and it actually looks better, so that's what made me start doing it this way. I would rather use more clear powder because you get more powder. You can buy a big thing of clear powder for the same price sometimes as some of these colored powders. So I would rather save more money when it comes to the colored powders and save more product. right, y'all, now that I have the powder laid down, it's time to start shaping, all right? So I always pull the skin back a little bit in case any acrylic got onto her skin. I'll pull the skin back, and with my middle finger on as you're looking at the phone or the TV or wherever you're watching this on, with my middle finger, I pull back that side of her skin, and with my thumb, I pull back the opposite side, so that you're not cutting the client. And I always use my file at an angle first, and then I go straight. And then at the tip, I put the file right up against the tip of the nail, and you'll just see me file up and down. So right here, I got a little bit of acrylic on the side of her nail, so I'm just going to file that off. And that's what I mean when I go up and down at the tip. And that's what's going to give you that super sharp shape. On the side, you want to hold the file as straight as possible. You don't want to curve it while you're filing, unless you like to file your nails that way. Everyone's different. Everyone has a different style. I like my shape to be more straight, whether it's square, whether it's coffin. I like to be super straight, super crisp. And yeah, that's how I shape nails, you guys. You've heard me mention this a lot of times in other videos. I explained the same thing over and over. So hopefully by now, some people who have been practicing, I wonder if you guys have seen a difference, or if you have used any of my methods. So now we're going to drill. And wait, are we going to drill? No, we're still filing. So we're still filing, shaping, getting the shapes accurate. And oh, no, we're not going to drill yet, because guess what? I ain't even shaped the other hand yet. So I always flip the hand the opposite way to see what the nails look like. And same thing, you guys. You want to hold them fingers very tight. I always grip my client's hand, or finger, should I say, pretty tight. You don't want to hurt them. But the tighter you grip it, the more control you have. You don't want the finger just flopping around while you're trying to shape the nail. You want it to be as steady as possible. So make sure you have a good grip on the finger. And she wanted a wider coffin shape. So, she requested her nails to be thick. She wanted them to curve, and she wanted a wide coffin. So I did not use eat-in tips on her, okay? We just used your regular, natural fail tips, no eat-in tips, because she wanted the nail to curve. And that's another reason why I laid a lot of layers of acrylic down, as far as the powder, and I did the clear. Normally I do a thin layer of clear acrylic. For her, I did like a thick layer of clear acrylic, so that when I drill, her nails still look thick. So I always take both hands and just compare each finger side by side to make sure they're the same length, they're the same width. One finger's not longer than the other, and one nail shape isn't wider than the other. Only thing with this set, I did not place these nail tips on her. I had helps, and they placed it on her. So someone's trying to learn, and they cut them, and some of the nails were cut longer than the others, but it's okay. It was an easy fix. So you guys know I use a different method to cut my nail tips to make sure each one is the same. So now we're going to drill, and I'm just going to use a fine drill bit. It is a small head. I don't like the big ones. The small one, I just feel like I have more control. So we're going to drill, and you guys see me do this a lot of times in other videos. Nothing's changing here, nothing special. So we're just going to drill the nail really good and get it nice and smooth and even, okay? Okay, you guys, so once I get done drilling, so I go back and like file the nail one more time just to make sure the shape is nice and crisp. Once I go back and file each nail, I just go with my buffer and I use like a medium grit buffer, not too coarse. And you don't want nothing too fine because when you top it with the gel top coat, it can peel off. So you want something that's a little more gritty. So I'm using a medium grit drill bit, a medium grit buffer, and I'm just buffing out her nails to make them smooth. I also had cut the excess cuticle skin, so I just used D&D's no wipe top coat, and I like this top coat. It works pretty good. It makes the nail shiny. It lasts a long time. I use a mixture of this one. I also like Ugly Ducklings top coat, and another favorite one is by Creation, the Creation brand top coat. So once we top coat her nails, we're done. She didn't get any designs or anything. So this is really kind of out the box for her since she just normally does like a glitter accent nail, you know, and she was very happy, very satisfied. I have a new client, and hopefully she keeps returning, you know, since she loved her nails so much. So anytime once I get done with my client's nails, I always apply some cuticle oil around the cuticles, and I like to use a small brush just so it can be done more neatly versus like just splattering it everywhere. And I literally paint it around the cuticle and I rub it in. It's just a personal preference, so I do that with every client. You know, and once I take my picture, I tell them they can rub it into their hands more. You know, I don't tell them to go wash their hands because I like the cuticle oil. You know, it's good for your cuticles, so I don't see the purpose of putting it on and then go washing it off. And basically her nails are done, you guys. This is it. No, nothing else is getting done. So she was super duper satisfied, like super duper satisfied. She was very happy because you could have seen how her nails look when she walked in. I understand. And this is the finished look. That paper is gorgeous. That pink powder is gorgeous. So now you guys can see why I switched from that other polka dot-ish hot pink powder. I feel like this powder just complements the Tony Lee powder. I mean, I feel like these flakes complement the Tony Lee powder way better. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. As always, thanks for watching. Love y'all. Bye.